Attention passionate Kansas City CHIFS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Kansas City Chiefs' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Kansas City Chiefs fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Kansas City CHIFS FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL landscape lately, you know that the Kansas City Chiefs are always in the mix when it comes to making bold moves, especially in the offseason. And this year, it's no different. The NFL world is buzzing with some intriguing developments, and one of the biggest stories revolves around a player who could change the entire complexion of the Chiefs, secondary Jaire Alexander. That's right, the Green Bay Packers have just released one of their top cornerbacks, and this isn't just a routine roster move. This is a game changer. Alexander, a former first-round pick from 2018, has been a cornerstone in Green Bay's defense for years. He's a two-time All-Pro, a Pro Bowler, and a player who's consistently showcased elite coverage skills, agility, and playmaking ability. But here's the catch: injuries. Since 2021, Jaire has missed a total of 34 games due to various injuries, including that recent arthroscopic knee surgery he underwent in early 2025. It's a tough pill for the Packers to swallow, especially considering his talent and potential. And that's exactly why they had to make this move. The Packers simply couldn't justify paying him over $16 million in base salary for 2025, given the injury concerns and the risk that comes with investing that kind of money in a player who hasn't been able to stay fully healthy. Still, talent-wise, there's no denying that Alexander is one of the elite cornerbacks in the league when healthy. His ability to shut down top receivers, his instincts, and his ball skills make him a player who can truly change a defense's overall effectiveness. Now, for the Kansas City Chiefs, this presents a golden opportunity. A chance to bolster a secondary that's been a bit inconsistent at times, especially when facing the league's top quarterbacks. Last season, we saw how important a solid cornerback room is, particularly in the AFC, where stars like Patrick Mahomes, divisional rivals and playoff opponents, often feature some of the most talented quarterbacks in the league. When Jalen Watson missed 11 games in 2024 due to an ankle injury, the Chiefs struggled to find the right depth to cover those big passing threats. That exposed some vulnerabilities, and it became clear that the secondary needed some reinforcements, especially with the playoffs right around the corner. Bringing in someone like Jaire Alexander could be a real game changer for Kansas City. Think about it: Alexander's versatility, his experience, and his ability to lock down receivers would elevate the entire unit. Not only that, but he could push Jalen Watson for a starting role, creating a healthy competition that benefits everyone. The Chiefs already have Trent McDuffie, who is emerging as the #1 corner, and they signed Christian Fulton during free agency, plus they drafted Noel Williams in the third round of the 2025 NFL Draft. But adding Alexander into this mix would give Kansas City a true shutdown corner, someone who can take on the league's best WRs, and give Patrick Mahomes even more confidence to unleash his offense. And let's not forget the strategic aspect. Alexander's presence would allow the Chiefs to be more flexible with their defensive schemes. He and McDuffie could rotate from outside on the boundary to inside in the slot, creating mismatches and confusing opposing offenses. The Chiefs' defense, which has been solid but sometimes lacks that elite shutdown ability, could transform into a top 5 unit with the addition of a player like Alexander. It's all about maximizing talent, and Kansas City has shown time and again that they're willing to invest in their defense to stay ahead of the pack. Now, the big question is whether Alexander will be fully recovered from his knee surgery and ready to contribute in 2025. That's the uncertainty that hangs over this potential move. The NFL is a league where players' health can make or break their impact, and the Chiefs, like any other team, will have to weigh the risk versus reward. But given their current salary cap space of roughly $11 million, according to Spotrac, they have some room to maneuver. They could work out a deal that's beneficial for both sides, especially considering Alexander's talent and the potential boost he could give to their secondary. Of course, it's not just about filling a roster spot. It's about making a statement. The Chiefs are all about winning now, and if they can add a player of Alexander's caliber, it signals their intent to defend their Super Bowl crown with everything they've got. Plus, with the AFC looking more competitive than ever, teams like the Bills, Bengals, Dolphins, and Ravens all making moves, Kansas City knows that every edge counts. Investing in their secondary isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity if they want to stay atop the division and make another deep playoff run. And for fans, this is the kind of news that keeps the excitement alive. Imagine the possibilities: a secondary featuring Trent McDuffie, Christian Fulton, and potentially Jaire Alexander. That's a formidable group, capable of matching up against any passing attack in the league. It also creates a dynamic environment where players push each other to perform at their best, knowing that the team is committed to excellence and willing to make bold moves. It's the kind of environment that fuels championship aspirations and keeps the fan base energized. But let's also talk about the broader implications. The AFC West is one of the most competitive divisions in football, and every move the Chiefs make is scrutinized and analyzed. If they secure Alexander, it could send a message to their rivals that Kansas City is not only committed to maintaining their dominance, but also willing to make strategic investments that could tip the scales in their favor. It could force teams like the Chargers and Raiders to reevaluate their own secondary plans, leading to even more fireworks in the upcoming season. And it's worth noting that Alexander's style of play fits perfectly with Kansas City's defensive philosophy. He's a corner who plays with aggression, great instincts, and the ability to create turnovers. His ball-hawking skills could complement the Chiefs' existing playmakers, turning some of those contested throws into interceptions. With Mahomes and the Chiefs' high-power defense, having a secondary that can force turnovers and create short fields is invaluable, especially in close games and playoff settings. Now, fans might be wondering about the timing of all this. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, and player movement is a constant. The fact that Alexander is now on the open market after being released by the Packers opens up a window of opportunity. Teams with cap space and a desire to contend could swoop in, but Kansas City's front office has always been shrewd when it comes to strategic acquisitions. They know the importance of bolstering their defense, especially in a league where passing offenses are becoming more sophisticated and explosive. And speaking of the future, it's also worth considering how Alexander's potential signing could influence the development of younger players like Noel Williams, who was drafted in the 3rd round. Having a veteran like Alexander to learn from and compete with would accelerate Williams' growth and help him adapt to the NFL faster. It's all about creating a culture of excellence and high expectations in Kansas City, which has been a hallmark of the Andy Reid era. Ultimately, the decision to pursue Jaire Alexander will come down to health, cost, and fit. But the possibilities are tantalizing. Imagine a secondary that's not only talented, but also versatile enough to adapt to different offensive schemes. The Chiefs could position themselves as a true steel curtain, capable of shutting down the league's best passing attacks and giving Mahomes even more room to operate. That kind of upgrade could be the final piece needed for another Super Bowl run, and it's exactly the kind of move that could define the next chapter in Kansas City Chiefs history. As always, the NFL offseason is full of intrigue, and the Chiefs are right in the middle of it. Whether they land Alexander or not, they're clearly not content to rest on their laurels. They're aiming high, looking to build on their success and stay at the top of the league. Fans should stay tuned, because the next few weeks could bring some exciting developments. And with the talent and resources they have, there's no reason to believe they won't be aggressive in pursuing every opportunity to improve their team and chase another Super Bowl title. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Kansas City Chiefs news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So, what do you think, Chiefs fans? Is Jaire Alexander the missing piece for your defense? Do you believe he can fully recover and make an immediate impact in 2025? How do you see this move shaping the division and the AFC landscape? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Your opinions matter so much to us and to the Kansas City Chiefs as a whole. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and news. so stay tuned for the latest Kansas City Chiefs news. This team never stops evolving, and neither do we. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Chiefs.